All new at 2, a warning for Democrats and the legacy media as critics say they are failing to grasp the enormous impact of Charlie Kirk's legacy and are oblivious to the political uprising his assassination could ignite. Welcome back to a second hour of America Reports. I'm Sandra Smith in New York. Good to be with you, John.
Good to be with you as well, but we're still on this sad news today, Sandra. I'm John Roberts in Washington. The Wall Street Journal today calling Kirk the man who, quote, helped Republicans break through to young voters. One student describing him as probably the most influential person in our generation. But as tributes pour in, on the right, longtime strategist Mark Halperin says Democrats still aren't grasping that influence or its fallout.
I talked to more than a few Democrats yesterday who had heard of Charlie Kirk. Two things struck me in every one of the conversations. They don't appreciate how significant he was as a force for the movement. But they don't appreciate the bond that people in MAGA have towards him. They're acting like some Republican operative got killed. And we don't know who did it, so how upset can we be? They do not understand. I read everything and watched so much overnight. I do not see liberals in the media understanding this bond and how important that is.
Let's bring in Lisa Boothe now, Fox News political analyst, and Doug Schoen is here, Democratic strategist and pollster. Doug, I'll go to you first on this one. So are Democrats in the legacy media really failing to appreciate just how far-reaching Charlie Kirk and his message and his influence were?
I agree, Sandra, with Mark Halperin. I think Charlie Kirk was one of the reasons and principal reasons why young voters moved away from Joe Biden to Donald Trump, and that there was a MAGA connection and a sense of relevance to youth that hadn't existed. But I'd go further, that some voices in my party have been hostile to him and have not seen the need and opportunity for conciliation and coming together is, in my judgment, a symptom of the larger problem my party has.
Because, Lisa, we are hearing takes like this from some members of Congress, Democrat members of Congress, including AOC, and Ilhan Omar responding to Charlie Kirk's death. Listen.
Yeah, there is nothing more up, than to completely pretend that, his words and actions have not been recorded and in existence for the last decade. These people are full of shit, and it's important for us to call them out.
I don't think a single person who has dedicated their entire career to preventing gun safety legislation from getting passed in this House has any right to blame anybody else but themselves for what is happening.
Lisa?
It's that kind of dehumanization that led to his assassination, to his murder. Sandra, it's hard to find the right words to say right now in this moment. Everything just feels inadequate. It feels like what you're saying is just not big enough for where we are right now as a country and a society. But there is a political dynamic to this, yes, obviously. But the spiritual one is so much bigger. And we all know that Charlie wasn't murdered, wasn't assassinated just for his political beliefs. He was assassinated for his faith. He was assassinated because he was a devout Christian, which was the basis for all of his beliefs. That is why he was assassinated. And I also think that's why all of us, millions of people across the world right now, feel this tug on our hearts right now. Because while there's a political battle in front of us, there's a spiritual one that supersedes that. And we're seeing a wickedness and an evilness in this country from people who are dancing on the grave of a great man, a great father, a great husband, someone who just wanted to do good in this country. And I think that's why, even though his killer thought he was silencing Charlie Kirk, he's ignited a fire in the bellies of so many people across the world.
Well, Doug, here's a Democrat with a different take. Here's Senator John Fetterman. Listen.
We can't just be, well, Trump is always wrong, or that we're going to set the country on fire, or whatever. A lot of Americans happen to disagree with you. That does not mean that they are fascists or now they want to shred the Constitution.
Because as Mark Halperin also is warning Democrats, the future may be Turning Point USA. Listen to this take.
How much does Turning Point become a wing of the RNC? If they do and they run it well, that could be a private, party-affiliated powerhouse unlike anything we've ever seen in American politics. I'm not saying it will happen, but it could happen because of the grassroots.
Your response, Doug.
2 points. First, Senator Fetterman is exactly right. We need to air our differences, yes, make it clear where we have alternative views, but end the hate, the polarization, and the division. And look, I've debated Charlie Kirk. I knew him reasonably well. I knew him to be a caring and compassionate man. And what Mark Halperin is saying could well happen and galvanize Turning Point USA. Not certain it'll happen, but his legacy is a profound one for those of us who are following, involved in, and look for the best in the political system.
Lisa, I'll let you respond. We got 10 seconds left.
Well, I just say the bullets are flying in one direction. I mean, the left is the party that is engaging in this political terrorism, from the attempted assassination of Steve Scalise to President Trump to the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And the reason why is this dehumanization effort that the left has been engaged in by calling people with whom they disagree fascists, Nazis, Hitler. This is the inevitable result of that. And so I appreciate Doug for calling out his party. I just wish that more on the left would do so.
Got it. Appreciate the discussion, both of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.